continue our class Kosher Kitchen. We start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. The topic is the same. Torah's constructive listening. And it's today's topic, soliciting information, preconditions. As it is forbidden to cause another Jew to transgress. One may not solicit information unless it is clearly permissible for the other person to offer such information. Thus, in order to solicit information, the following conditions must be met. Person to whom information is being, it's number one, sought is not known to fabricate the stories about the others and read into their behavior in an unjust manner, or to draw hurried conclusions about their character. And second, a person is not known to exaggerate his descriptions of events. And third, it can be assumed that the information that when informed, the information is necessary. He will not speak out of malice toward the subject. Thus, one may not seek information from a person who is not on good terms with the subject. And number four, it is clear that the information is necessary for a constructive purpose, and there is no alternative to soliciting such information. So this, we're going to go into details, because as you can imagine, it's a lot of details. I think he'll break down. He will not break down. I mean, I think somewhere in the book he will break down. But let's do at least summary, right? So this is the case when we're obligated to step forward and offer the information, right? Because somebody might get hurt, right? Whatever, something bad might happen. So one more time, it is forbidden to cause another Jew to transgress. One may not solicit information unless it's clearly permissible for the other person to offer such information, right? So meaning that we're not allowed to listen to what they say unless it is a clear case that he's allowed to talk and I'm allowed to listen. Most of the case, it's not for constructive purpose. It's not most of the case. Okay. Thus, in order to solicit information, the following condition must be met. Okay, so let's see. Number one, person from whom information is being sought is not known to fabricate stories about the others. So we're trying to get the information, and we know that it's normal person, like honest person. He's not going to make up stories. Okay, so there's some people I personally know. If they tell me this is left, I would not believe. This is right, I would not believe. This is black, white. They just like they have I don't know, this tendency to exaggerate things, to make up things, and to make it funny. So you don't know, the guy is kidding. He's not. He's serious. Exactly the same. Okay, so it's not person like that. And second, it's very interesting to read into their behavior in an unjust manner. Right? Of course, if he's a big sage and he can see the person and he can see his forehead, and as Holy Hazanish did, and read everything, all of the sins of that person, yes. But some people, they just read to look too much into it, like especially women. That's why one of the reasons that's why women are not allowed to be witnesses. Like sometimes, like I hear even my wife, she started like telling me all of the details. I say, how do you know all of this? And she started deriving like this is from this is from that. I said that's too much. I mean, maybe it is true, but to say like it's very interesting. Right, so I know firsthand that's why women cannot be witnesses. Man is very simple, straightforward, without this imagination. They said, "What did you see?" He said, "I saw this and this." That woman, she would develop the story and add the facts. So that's not what they asked. Very interesting. And she, in her mind, would believe that that's what exactly happened. Okay, so a person like this, you cannot, men even like that, you're not allowed to ask if they read into it, right? Uh, or to draw the hurried conclusion about their character. But what my wife did, she would not knock against somebody like, but in general, take like I don't know, something and dissect it in the different segments. I said, how did you derive all of this? It's unbelievable. You understand? So, but since there is no clear proof to whatever they say, maybe it's true, maybe not. So we cannot to offer this information to somebody else. Number two, a person is not known to exaggerate in his description of the events. So that's also not so easy because, for example, if somebody is sensitive in that field, so they would exaggerate. And for example, somebody went through the family abuse, right? And then something like similar happened in somebody else, not 1% to what happened to them. So they already like blow this thing out of proportion. We also had this. Right, and of course, unfortunately, we believe that person, but then we found out it was not true. So, but that person so sensitive to that situation, that's why they said whatever they said. So, number three, it can be assumed that when informed, the information is necessary. Okay, so meaning maybe it's a very interesting information, but it could be used for some constructive purpose. He will not speak out of malice toward the subject, right? So he's not this guy who is talking. He's not against him. Like if they, if one does not like another, or they, I don't know, whatever. So whatever happened between them, so we're not allowed to listen. Even if he would try to tell the truth, most likely he would mix out a lot of lies because of the hatred, right? Thus, one may not seek information from a person who is not in good terms with the subject. So that's very straightforward. So if he's against him, if he's for enemy, or I don't know, like his brother that they don't speak for the past 10 years, or like whatever. So of course you cannot ask that. Okay. Number four, it is clear that information is necessary for a constructive purpose. Right, and that there is no alternative to soliciting such information. Okay. So one more time, it's for constructive purpose, and there is no other way but to get this information from that specific person. Okay. So maybe if you can read it somewhere, or I don't know, get it somewhere else, so that's what you have to do. All right, stop here. Any questions on what we said? Okay, no problem. So, we go a little back. So, we're on chapter 8, Kashrut of the knife. So, we're still with this knife. And section C, the knife used to cut sharp foods, dvar harif. Right? So, we gave the definition, dvar harif, and number 2 is a practical halachah concerning sharp foods. Okay. A. Radish cut with a meat knife. Okay. Radish cut with a meat cut, peeled, or scraped with a meat knife. There is a difference between Ashkenazic and Sephardic tradition regarding the effect of the meat knife. Okay. According to Ashkenazic custom, the entire radish may not be eaten with daily food. So as you understand, it's very, very strict, right? Okay, not very, okay, it is strict there. Since one has the option to eat without dairy. Okay. So basically, I mean, they could have said, no, you have to cut it in half. Maybe you have to like cut top layer and eat the rest with the dairy. But they say, no, just leave it. So, okay. It's from Rima 96.1. Okay. So he said, no, don't eat it with dairy, period. Okay. According to Sephardic custom, one may eat the radish with dairy foods after merely cutting away the cut surface of the radish to the depth of approximately 1 inch. I'm not sure, one inch is a lot. How big is the radish that you're going to cut 1 inch? I mean, from the cut only. But if in my mind, right, if somebody peeled this radish, so what are you going to do with that? I mean, like, you're going to have only a little piece left. Okay, but okay, I'm not sure. Maybe they have huge ones. I don't know. Okay, one second. Approximately 1 inch. If radish is subsequently mixed with cooked or cooked with dairy, so of course we're talking about or even cooked in a clean dairy pot, right? So okay, or radish was cut with a meat knife and subsequently cut with a dairy knife, a rough must be consulted. So let's try to understand the situation. If radish is subsequently mixed together, so meaning it was, I guess nothing was done to this radish. Radish was cut or peeled or something with meat knife, and then it was cooked with dairy. Or radish was cut with a meat knife and subsequently cut with a dairy knife. A rough must be consulted. Right, so rough must be consulted. I'm not sure. I mean, cooked may be a little easier, I guess. If it's 1 to 60, that's fine, right, after the fact. But with a knife, so first they cut with a meat knife and then continue cutting with a dairy knife. Okay, I mean, we have to see exactly details of the situations. Maybe if you can identify somehow what this place of the cut, maybe you just can get rid of it and that's it. Okay, but it depends. Continue. B, radish cut with a dairy knife. Similarly, radish cut with even a clean dairy knife should not be eaten with meat. Often a knife set aside for dairy is used exclusively for cold dairy foods and never actually absorb the dairy taste, right? So that's, as we understand, it's a big leniency, right? So, and the commentator says, you see another place regarding knife that only occasionally used with hot dairy foods. Okay, so we're not going to look into it. That's with meat, of course, it's more stricter because with meat often we cut hot meat. Right here with dairy, most likely we cut cold dairy. Okay, so okay. In such a case, the radish may be eaten with the meat if cut surface thoroughly washed. So again, because the reason is because if we use this knife only for cold foods, it's never absorbed the taste, and plus it was clean. Okay. Okay, so that's the easiest case, I think, when it's a cold knife that was only dairy knife that was only used for cold foods. Okay. Next situation, it's C, radish cut with a non-kosher knife. In the opinion of some authorities, if radish is cut with a non-kosher knife, the entire radish should not be eaten. Other authorities follow more lenient view and rule that it may be eaten after the inch of both cut surfaces is removed. But this inch, like most likely, is nothing left after this inch. So let's see commentary. Even if the other radishes are available. So it's a comment. No. So meaning if he wants to eat it anyway, so he has other radishes, but he wants to save this radish. So it's they say cut 1 inch, and continue eating. But it depends how many how many cuts the person did. The way I see it, if he cuts only once, I understand you can save something. But if he peeled, that's it. You have to throw out, or he cut in on four pieces. Okay. So one more time. Even if the other radish is available, so you can try to save this, no problem. The reason we are more lenient with a non-kosher knife than with a meat/dairy knife is because one has the option of using radish cut with a meat knife, as long as one uses with one second. Option with radish cut with a meat knife, as long as one uses it with dairy. However, if the product, if we prohibit radish cut with a non-kosher knife, it will be discarded. It will need to be discarded. So the leniency is, if you cut with your own knife, you can still eat it, right? You cut this radish with a dairy knife, so you can eat it with dairy. There is no problem, right? Or eat it. I like the way I see it. Eat it separately. You want to eat this radish, and you consider it dairy, and after 2 minutes you can eat your meat. There is no problem. Okay, right? The same with meat knife, but so you can you use this, you eat this dairy with meat, not with dairy, but with the non-kosher food. It's like you don't have choice, right? So that's why they give us a little more lenient ruling, which makes sense. Continue. D. Purchasing a cut radish from a non-Jew. I'm not sure. I have not seen why would you they would sell a cut radish separately. I don't know. One should not initially purchase cut radish from a non-Jew if no other radish is available. One may purchase a cut radish from a non-Jew. Remove the thickness of an inch of the cut surface, and eat the remainder. Okay. So from a non-Jew, so we assume that the knife is not kosher. Even as we said before, most likely this knife was used only for vegetables, so that's why we're more lenient. Okay, so commentary. 196.1. This is true even if non-Jewish knife was used for a non-kosher food during previous 24 hours. Okay, no problem. Still we have this leniency. Continue. In regard of this case, if the radish was cooked without removing the cut surface, Rav should be consulted. I guess we would go to 1 to 60. That's the only solution that I see. So, and most likely this cut surface is tiny. I mean, of course it depends what you cook, but that's why you need to ask Rabbi. So he cannot trust you and tell you go and see was it 1 to 60 or not. Most people not going to estimate properly. Okay. So why? Because people bias. That's the issue. E. A radish cut on a dairy plate. Not only the status of the knife affects the radish, but the plate upon which the radish is cut may affect the radish as well. So one more time, the sharp foods, and radish is one of them, would absorb the taste, or reenact the taste in a knife, right, even where it was cleaned for some time. And same they say in a plate. So even though it's clean, no problem. It's going to, if it's wrong plates, it's the dairy plate, it's going to absorb the taste, basically. Just one second. So one more time, not only the status of night affect the radish, but the plate upon which the radish is cut may affect the radish as well. Okay, so meaning opposite. So yeah, no, that's correct. So the radish would absorb the taste from the plant. No, we said correctly. If in the opinion of some authorities, a radish cut with a pared knife into daily plate may not be eaten with the meat and vice versa. Okay. Similarly, a radish cut of a non-kosher plate may not be eaten. Okay, why? Because it's absorbed the taste. One faced with either of these situations should consult a Rav. So this the radish would absorb the whatever taste from the plate as well, if it was cut. Of course, if it was just put down like without cutting, there is no problem. If it's cold and cold, there is no problem whatsoever. Okay. So continue. F. The situation of doubt. One who is in doubt whether the radish was cut with a non-kosher knife may use the radish. Okay. Okay, so they give reliefs of the authorities. Continue. Somebody wants to say something? Okay, no problem. So could you please make sure that your phone is on mute, or well, Skype microphone is on mute. Okay, so in case of the doubt, we said you can eat. Next one, a pickle jar. As noted above, that perhaps a sour pickle is considered dvar harif. Okay, thus a pickle cut with a meat knife should preferably not be eaten with a daily knife. So pickle cut with a meat knife should not preferably be eaten with a daily meal. Okay, so pickle is also dvar harif. Furthermore, we noted that any instrument that pierces the food is equivalent to a knife. Instrument that I guess if you're talking about fork. So if you take a fork and pierce this pickle, take it out of the jar. So this fork, in some sense, becomes this fork becomes a knife. Meaning, if it's a meat fork, so you would not be able to use this pickle for daily. This pickle is daily. Very interesting. So okay, so removing a pickle from a jar. Okay, here we go. When I remove pickle from a pickle jar, one should be careful not to create problem davar harif. So technically, you can take it with a spoon, right? Or you take it with a hand, I guess. Okay. Well, there is. I think it's a better solution. There are perforated spoons, right? So you just took pickle and leave this. What is it called? Broth or behind. Brine. Okay, behind. Okay, continue. Often one inserts a meat fork or knife into a jar in attempt to remove a pickle and is unable to extricate the pickle from the jar. The pickle thus remain in a jar, pierced in many spots with a meat fork. So it's very interesting. That's not what I thought. Like initially, like when I thought of this example, but it's a brilliant example. So here's an example. So if you take you eating meat, right, and part of vegetables, and you take your fork, right, meat fork, you stick it in a jar. Let's say it's clean. Of course, don't go with a dirty fork. and you put it on your plate. So now you're going to eat this pickle. So since you since you pierce this pickle, it's absorbed the taste of the fork. Let's say this pickle became meat. Okay, so that's clear case. That's what I thought initially, but it's not a problem because you're going to eat it, right? So the problem is when person is trying to fish for this from the pickle, and he pierced it a few times, whatever, and then just leave it there. Who could not get out for whatever reason, just pierces that. So this pickle becomes actually meat because of fork, and it stays behind. So if you take it out, there is no problem. So how are you going to eat it with your meat meal? But in that case, this pickle becomes, in some sense, is meat, and you're going to eat it with daily. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting situation. The pickle thus remains in a jar, pierced in many spots by a meat fork, exactly as we explained. Subsequently, someone else may remove the pickle and eat it during the daily meal, or someone may cut the pickle with a daily knife. Right? That's another issue. The pickle may thus have absorbed both meat and milk tastes. Of course, we understand there is a minute of the minute, most likely. I mean, me personally, I 100% guarantee I'm not going to discern the states. It's so little because most likely this fork was clean. Most likely this knife was clean, but it's not about that. It's about the fact there is a dairy and meat together. That's the thing. Okay. One should preferably avoid this problem by removing from jar any pickle that was pierced by a meat or dairy fork. Okay. Right, so if you pierce once, you try to fish don't go for another one. Just whatever you use, whatever one that you're trying to get out, just take it out and that's it. Or one should use only a part of utensils to remove the pickles. I guess pickles, but I guess it works also with other things. Like you have hot peppers or something. Also pickled. Okay, so any questions before we continue? These pickles. Yes.
There's a question the board says, regarding taking out the pickle with a meat or milk fork. Therefore, the whole jar and all the pickles that's in the jar also turn to meat or milk?
No. Only this one. Only this one that we pierced. That's it. So in this sense, it's good. Right? So only this one. That's why he said, if you already pierced, you start playing with it, take it out. For sure. But what I say, if you have this perforated spoon, just take it with a spoon, and it would be the best. Or they say take it with something that is parif, right? That's why we have to have parif. Okay, continue.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And some of them are so strong. This pickle so strong. I remember we bought many years ago, bought from a store, famous brand, and when we opened it, the taste was very artificial. It's I don't know what they added, but taste was not the greatest taste. But of course, we don't waste food. Okay, we finished the jar and we put it on the side to put it in recycle. And after and we don't take recycle every day because it's clean. I mean, what is it empty jar with a lid, right? And then I after a few days, maybe 2-3 days, something smell. Right? So what is this smell? And I figured out it was from the jar. So this jar, even empty, and before we go put it in recycle, we just rinse. I mean, that's a city regulation. So it's because it must get cleaned before they can process it. Some people do, some people don't, but we rinse. So basically we rinse. So it was clean. of course, not clean, not washed with the soap, but it was clean. No, nothing was there. So this smell was so strong. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Not that is from the taste from brine. So what I'm trying to say that these pickles were very sharp. I mean, in this sense that it would absorb even better than radishes or other things, because of all of this, not because of the pickle, because of the brine. I'm not sure what was that, but we never bought this brand again. So it's not healthy to have this stuff. Okay. So next one, H, horseradish jar. At Dvar Harif, so horseradish, they usually like process it, and it's if you say jar, it's already not the root itself. It was processed. Usually they do it with the beets, so it's a reddish color, right? Or they usually use without beets, so it's like white color. The different taste, right? But basically they sell it in small jar, and I mean we buy this jar maybe once a year, and and that's how it takes maybe twice a year, like not more than that, because it's very sharp, and you don't need much, just a little. Okay, so meaning what, that you would go there with a spoon many times, and they just take a little. So it's very interesting. So one more time, the Dvar Harif causes transfer of taste only in in combination of dukha the sakina. So the Dvar Harif, as we said, is the sharp foods, and it transfers the taste only when you cut, right, with a knife, or only or when you pierce. It doesn't matter you cut or pierce. You can cut, like if you apply pressure, even I guess with a spoon as well. It does not have to be knife, right? But usually people don't cut with a spoon, but to pierce with a fork for sure. This was a previous example. Mere placing Dvar Harif onto the plate will not cause the transfer of the taste. Okay, so meaning if you take it with a wrong spoon, basically, that's what they say. Similar, inserting a utensil into a jar of ground Dvar Harif creates no kashrut problem. Okay, so if you take it with a spoon. Okay, thus one should be permitted to use clean meat or dairy spoon or fork to remove horseradish or other things from jar. Okay, so meaning again, because you do it with a spoon. So even if you did it with opposite spoon, nothing happened. If it was clean, it was not used for more than 24 hours for sure. Right? Thus, one should not be permitted to use a clean meat or dairy spoon or fork to remove horseradish, from the jar, regardless of whether it's to be used with the meat or dairy meal. Of course, I mean, in general, as we said before many times, try to be careful. Don't play with this stuff. Just do all of this pot of food with pot of, right? With pot of spoon. That's it. Or knife, if you need to cut it with knife, cut it with a pot of knife. Since the mixture is ground, right? The spoon or fork neither pierce nor cut the food, and no pressure takes place, and consequently no transfer of taste occurs. So again, because we almost finished with this chapter. So transfer in a Dvar Harif happens only with first of Dvar Harif, and second, there is a pressure of the knife of the fork. Here there is no pressure, it was ground, it was processed, so there is no problem. Nevertheless, it is preferable to refrain, here we go, from using dairy or meat spoon to remove horseradish from a jar if removed or the remaining horseradish is to be eaten with food of the other type. Okay, so let's see commentary. Since the opinion of many authorities, most Dvar Harif has the ability to effect transfer of taste even without pressure of the knife. Many authorities. Okay. and he gives the list of these authorities. Meaning, according to them, even if you take it with a spoon, it is a problem. But okay, if there are many others that you cannot the rule for us leniently, we can rely on that opinion. But again, so I would not do that. Me personally, I would not do it. I would do with with a part of spoon. On one hand, on the other hand, to say that we ever ate horseradish, for example, with the dairy, I don't think so. I don't think I ever ate horseradish with the dairy. Okay, you usually, because it's sharp, you usually eat it with meat. One should also not allow the meat or dairy spoon to remain in a horseradish, right, jar for an extended period of time. So that's another issue, right? As we learned before about soaking. So let's see, 101. A utensil or food soaked in a vinegar solution for 18 or perhaps 10 minutes spent may cause the transfer of the taste. Okay, so we said about it. Also problem. So you take as much as you need, and then make sure that the spoon is clean, and don't keep it in a jar. Continue. I should be finished with that. Next one. Ginger, blender, or food processor. A ginger is equivalent to a knife. I apologize. Grinder, blender, or food processor. A grinder is equivalent to a knife, since it's also presses against the food when cutting. Yeah, for sure. Grinder is a knife. Okay. Similarly, the blender or food processor's blade is, in essence, a knife. Therefore, so all of these things are knives. So we have to be careful. Very interesting. So I have to ask my wife what she does, because for sure she uses with onions, for example, we use it for latkes. We use food processor. I don't think we add it and we fry them on a part of frying pan. I don't think we ate it with dairy, but it's very interesting. But because the same food processor we would use for meat, that's for sure. So very interesting. So I never thought about it. It's very interesting. So one more time. One who grinds onions or horseradish with a meat grinder may not use onions or horseradish with dairy foods. Commentary. In addition, grinder and a blender may be difficult to clean and should be assumed to contain meat particles. I mean, if you have simple one, there are only a few parts, so you can actually clean it, right? With the soap, and plus it's cold. It's not a big deal to clean it. Continue. An onion or horseradish cut with a dairy knife should not be ground in a meat grinder. So they cut with a grinder in order to prepare to put it in. Okay, very interesting. An onion cut with a dairy knife should not be ground with a part of grinder. An onion cut with a dairy knife should not be ground with a part of grinder. Right? Why? Because it's going to become dairy. Blender or food processor. That's very interesting. So continue. Next one. A grinder in which livers or fresh onions are ground may be considered meat utensil. Okay, so let's see commentary. This would depend upon the ratio of the onions. Ratio of the onions. So okay, so one more time. Grinder. So onions is usually minority for sure, but it's but on one hand, but also it's not 1 to 60, a minority, but not 1 to 60. So one more time, grinder in which liver and fresh onions are ground may be considered meat utensil. If subsequently one uses the grinder to grind dairy foods with onions, a rav must be consulted. I'm not sure why would somebody do liver and onions and then use dairy. Subsequently one uses a grinder to grind dairy foods with onions, a rav must be consulted. I'm not sure why would somebody do that. So commentaries say this pertains to the onions cut with a meat or dairy knife. An onion cut with a non-kosher knife presents more serious problem and may be rendered the grinder non-kosher. So meaning it would absorb the taste from the knife and transfer it to the grinder. Okay, next one. However, one who grinds a non-sharp foods, for example, potatoes or eggs, in a meat grinder, may use the food with dairy meal, provided the grinder was cleaned properly beforehand. One more time. However, one who grinds non-sharp foods, potatoes or eggs, right? That's easy, right? In a meat grinder. So a meat grinder means it's clean, right? If it's a residue, for sure it's a problem. A meat grinder may use that food with dairy meal, provided the grinder was cleaned properly beforehand. So meaning, because the explanation is that it was always cold. I don't think somebody would grind. I mean, it's my opinion. So usually when people using grinder, it's for cold foods. That's my assumption. Okay. So in this case, there is no problem. Since the blender and the grinder may be difficult to clean, one should preferably not grind foods for the daily meal if the meat in the meat grinder, so to avoid the problem. Okay, but in our grinder we have even food process. It's like simple parts, like whatever touches the food, simple. On one hand, on the other hand, there is some plastic. It's not so easy. I mean, it is easy to clean, but plastic absorbs much better than metal. Okay, so let me see 1 second. How much time we have? Okay, so I guess we can do a few more. And it says J. Actually, any questions before we continue? All right, no problem. I mean, it's all straightforward, and as I said before, I ask you again, don't put yourself in this situation, because it's very, very problematic. So just buy yourself an extra knife and that's it. A few knives. Okay, so continue. A chopper. A chopper is equivalent to a knife. Thus one who chops liver with fresh onions and subsequently uses the chopper to chop eggs with the onions may perhaps not eat the chopped eggs with the dairy food. Rav must be consulted. One more time. Chopper is equivalent to a knife, of course. I mean, it has blade. Thus, one who chops livers, I'm not sure, with fresh onions. Chops liver with fresh, it's for sure it's a meat chopper. And subsequently uses the chopper to chop eggs and with onions, may perhaps not eat the chopped eggs with the dairy foods. I'm not sure why would somebody think otherwise. Okay, because we said so many times. Maybe he's using just an example of this use of the chopper, because for sure he chopped onions with the meat. It became meat, right? Okay. Next one, grater. In the opinion of some authorities, if one onion or horseradish is cut with a daily knife and subsequently grated, a grater has become grater and may not be used for meat. One may not even use the grater to grate bread for a meat meal, since it is very difficult to clean grater of onion remnants properly. Some poskim contend that one should not even use the daily plate when grating a horseradish to be eaten with a meat meal, or the reverse. Okay, so let's do this again. We try to understand. So one more time, a grater. In the opinion of some authorities, if an onion or horseradish is cut with a daily knife, so cut with a daily knife, and subsequently grated, the grater has become daily grater and may not be used for meat. Okay, so I mean he's very clear. So it right. So this onion absorb the taste of knife and transfer it to the grater. Okay, according to these authorities. Okay. One I mean, it's very strict opinion. Not very. I mean, very. It's not a good word. It's not like I'm judging, but okay. One may not even use the grater to grate bread for the meat meal, since it is difficult to clean grater from onion remains properly. Okay. I'm not sure why they use bread. Okay, no problem. So continue. Some poskim contend that one should not even use a daily plate for the grater when grating horseradish to be eaten with a meat knife, with a meat meal, or the reverse, meaning that even it's cold, it just falls on a plate, just stays on the grate. It's not like we apply pressure like a grater. No, nothing. So yeah, it's a strict opinion. HaShem. Continue. Next one, L. Preparing salads. One who wishes to prepare a salad for the use with both meat and dairy meals must use the parve knife. In the salads can contain radishes or onions. Okay, so one more time. Preparing salad. One who wishes to prepare salads for the use of both meat and dairy meals must use parve knife if the salads contain radishes and onions. I would say always use parve knife, just to be on the safe side. Okay, continue. Maybe the solution, not to fall into issue, have many parve knives or only few meat knives. Also could be a problem. So if a person has a meat knife, the dory, he would use parve knife. Also not good. Okay. Next one. A worm found while cutting radish. Wow. One who cuts a worm while slicing radish. I did not know that they live in radishes. Slicing radish should cut away the cut surface of the radish. The knife requires netziach, meaning sticking into the ground. It's very interesting. So person was cutting radish, so it is sharp, and now this worm is a worm which is not kosher. Okay. So he has to cut the place where the radish, when the worm was, right? The place of the cut, and I guess he can continue eat this radish. Of course, remove this worm, the remaining of the worm, but no problem. Next one, the last one. Sharp foods cut with knife regarding waiting 6 hours. With knives regarding waiting 6 hours. And it says, one who eats radish cut with a clean meat knife need not wait 6 hours before eating dairy food because it would be too much. Right? So it is a dairy, but it's not dairy. So commentaries say the Yad Yehuda says the task gloss Rabbi Akiva. If one cuts sharp foods with other than radish, Yad Yehuda requires the merest scraping away the cut surface. One who cut other fruits merely requires to wash them. That's it. All right. So meaning radish is more stricter. Okay. Continue. So so it says sharp foods cut with a knife regarding waiting 6 hours. Okay. One who eats a radish with a cut. I apologize. I read wrong commentary. It was whatever. One who eats a radish cut with a clean knife, clean meat knife, need not wait 6 hours before eating dairy food. So now write commentaries. If knife was not clean, halachah may be different, of course. So clean knife. In the opinion of the some poskim, one who ate meat should wait 6 hours before eating radish cut with a dairy knife. They say Yad Yehuda, who contends that if the dairy knife was non-bidyama, one may eat radish. Okay, so meaning radish was cut with a dairy knife, so even after the meat does not have to wait 6 hours. Okay. If it was clean, non-bidyama, meaning was not used for 24 hours. One can easily avoid most of these problems. So it's in bold, right? By keeping an assortment of clearly recognizable or labeled part of knives. So as we said, they just like paint the handles different color and you're good. Knives. All salads should be cut with a part of knife on a part of cutting board, and that's what we do. But even other people who are like professional cooks or not professional cooks, like who are into cooking, that's what they do. It's unfortunately I have one of the family members, so my cousin. So she's into baking and cooking. She's professional cook. So she visit her. It's in Israel. So she showed us. She said, "I don't keep kosher. Of course, we never ate that. I don't keep kosher, but I have this. So for fish, she would have one frying pan. For mushrooms, another frying pan. So it's like for them, because why? Because she explained the taste, it's transfer. Of course, we try to tell her same with kosher meat and milk. They did not hear, but did not listen. But it's very interesting, right? On all of the nonsense that they were like very strict, right? Not to fry fish and mushrooms on the same plate. But kosher and non-kosher, unfortunately, not so strict. Okay. Any questions on what we said or did not say?
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
The question of word says, if one grinds sharp food with meat grinder and then cook the food in a dairy pot, does it make the dairy pot treif?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. We have to grind and we have to kosher the pot. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
I was wondering about this issue of pickles. Does this apply to this sun-dried tomatoes?
No, sun-dried tomatoes. It's the difference. They're not. Are they like sharp? They're not sharp. Apologies. Sun-dried tomatoes in a jar. That's what you mean?
Yeah, the ones that come in a jar with.
They're not sharp. It's they're preserved in what is it, in olive oil, I think, in some kind of oil. But they're not sharp. It's not like pickles. So that's much more lenient. So again, if you don't pierce them, if you don't cut them, if you just take them out, so that they're part of in a jar, so technically you don't use I don't know 3 or 5 or 7 of them to make yourself what is it, the cheese omelet. No problem. And you want to use another few to make a soup, right? Meat soup. No problem. You understand? But just make sure that you take them with a spoon, even though they're not sharp. So I think if somebody, it's my personal approach, just do everything exactly the same, like on the safe side. So if you take them only with a spoon, there's no problem whatsoever. But if you, as he said, this Rabbi said, if you pierce it with your fork, make sure you take it out for sure. Don't leave it there. Okay, what else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So one of our friends is having like constantly problems with his network. Mm-hmm. So he kind of asked me the favor to read these questions to go up. He sent them to me on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one. Number 1, Chazal teaches us that if a person lies about his financial status, he will not live this world until he has experienced that very same situation. Does this only work in the negative sense, or if someone feigned extreme wealth so that people would always feel he or she was approachable if there was any need? Would they eventually become extremely wealthy? Of course, not imply anyone should start telling lies.
So I apologize. Can you do it again, and let's break it in 2 parts. Sorry, but let's do it again, please.
Sure. Okay. Chazal teaches us that if a person lies about his financial status, mm-hmm. he will not live this world until he has experienced that very same situation.
Okay, so let's stop here. Thank you. So I just want to clarify the statement. So that they say if he lies about his financial status or makes up some lies. So he said, I need money for my daughter's surgery. She's 3 years old and she needs a kidney transplant. Understand? And he's not married, or he has a daughter, but she does not need anything. She's a beautiful young daughter. Understand? So he's not going to leave this world until HaShem, this daughter or another kid would have this need, and he would for sure need that. Or he's faking, right? That's one situation. Another situation that that he's faking, that he's that he in needs of tzedakah, and he's not in needs of tzedakah, right? So he said, no, I'm so poor, I'm this and that, I'm that, I'm 10 months behind in my rent or whatever, but in fact he's not. He's 1.5 months behind. You understand? So and he try and collect, and people feel bad for him and compassionate. So he's going to put in this situation. He's going to lose his money, when he would be 11 months behind. So that's what it means when he lies about his financial status. Right? So it's only one way when he give people wrong information, and try to collect money. That's how this expression was used. Okay. Let's continue, please.
So until he has experienced version of the situation. Okay, this only work in the negative sense, or if someone feigned or faked extreme wealth, pretended he had extreme wealth, so that people would always feel he or she was approachable if there was any need. Would they eventually become extremely wealthy?
I don't think so. I would say, yeah, go ahead. What else?
Sorry, our friend clarifies it, or of course not imply that anyone should start telling lies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's exactly. So it says clearly for us, you should not. You have to distance yourself from lies. But in that case, I would say opposite what would happen if somebody is faking wealth. And first of all, he people think that they can borrow money from him, or he can give him a job, and this guy is on unemployment himself, collecting cans on the street. You understand, or I don't know, whatever he does. And there is such a thing as maris ayin. So maris ayin is ayin ra, meaning bad eye. So people becomes jealous of him or her. Right? The person is so rich, and we grew up in the same we have the same childhood, went to the same kindergarten. Look at him. I hardly pay my bills, but he said that he sold a building and bought 3 buildings, and now he's running around, and he is not going to be available next 8 days because he has to do closing, and he goes to Panama, and he's trying to buy an apartment. It's a good investment. So you understand? So people would become jealous, and this jealousy, ayin ra, it works. It works. So and even if a person is telling the truth, and and everybody knows about his money situation, or different situations. For example, he has all of these beautiful kids, and he walks the whole family outside, and everybody's listening to him. So and somebody looking from the window and said, look, I also want kids, and I cry for the past 20 years. I don't have. And look at him. He's good for nothing, and his wife, and this and that, and look at his beautiful kids. So, and HaShem can, chas v'shalom, it should never happen to us, to anybody close to us, but he can say, look, I gave you these beautiful kids, right? And but they're cause of the pain of another Jew. So why would you do that? Don't take you all of the kids at the same time in the front of everybody, right? And don't flash your money. I give you money. So you want to do tzedakah? Do tzedakah. You want to make tax deductible? Make it tax deductible. But don't tell everybody how much money you have. So you understand? And that's how people lose their fortune, because other people, right? And with the kids, chas v'shalom, as I said, it should not happen to us, and not even closely, right? But people are jealous. People jealous because as we discussed yesterday, and this week we have a beautiful discussion. People think that they deserve something that somebody else have. So nobody wants to be them. Many people wants to be dream to be somebody else. You understand? That's the biggest issue. And he said, look, what's the thing? Look, this guy was a C student in math. We went to the same class, right? And I was an A student, right? And he always said, you know what? Actually, you know how he got C? Because he copied from me most of the time. So, and he's such a rich person, and I hardly have money for rent. So I guess what? Jealousy is starting up. And this comes to HaShem and says, look, my children are suffering because of you, Mr. Rich Guy, Mr. Successful Guy, Mrs. Successful Woman, right? And that's how people lose the blessing. Is it deserved? It's not deserved, right? Let's say the normal people. But this flashing is not good. Have to like hide. It must be in hidden, right? You have a blessing, hide it, right? So we had I had another group, right, and we learned that. And one lady said, she changed the name. So now she has a Jewish name. Before that, she got different name. Okay, and she changed the name in a chat. So you have this message such and such, change the name or change the phone number, new phone. Okay, okay. So I right away I understood that something happened, like. And I told her congratulations, like on the private chat, congratulations. And she said, yeah, it took me 8 years, whatever. It's a terrible story. Whatever she went through, this poor lady, right? And there are other few family who tried, but they try and I don't know. At that point, whatever. They're not really trying, but they think that they're in. But this family, they took such a sacrifice, such a leap of faith, and they moved from one country to another country, and they were so dedicated that and so persistent. So the guy was accepted in the kollel. You understand? So he's been learning in kollel for a few years, but then whatever happened, that doesn't matter. So I told her, don't tell anybody in the group that you convert. I mean, they're all different countries. I mean, they used to be friends, but I told her not to do it. Okay. Am I happy for her? Very happy. Very happy. I mean, she just joined in and out, there's no, was not my student. Just sometimes she would learn in our class. Because of many children, whatever, she's like 5 or 6 children, okay. Doesn't matter. So, but other lady, right away she said, and she addressed her by her old name. Nice to see you. We have not seen her for a long time. You understand? In the chat, in the group chat, you don't do that. And they said, no, my name. So yeah, now call me now. This and this. You understand? And I hope that the other lady did not figure out, but because she was there is some jealousy, or a lot of jealousy in her. And so of course I try to calm her down, this and that, but it's very difficult situation. So people are very jealous of somebody's successes, right? Of course, that's why you need musar. Otherwise, you couldn't be like that. Because of that such a person, somebody can lose their fortune and success, right? And that person was not guilty. And this person who was just jealous, and it says one of the 613 mitzvahs, you're not allowed to be jealous. So he or she would be the reason why somebody suffer. Understand? We have to be very, very careful with that. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
So the next question our friend sent me was, okay, it goes, number 2, does the Rav know if there's anywhere in the Torah at all that gives any possible explanation / hidden meaning to extremely large numbers of crows suddenly being seen in one's area, or any information surrounding crows in any aspect?
Crows? What is crows?
Crows, yeah.
What is it?
It's bird.
It's a bird? Okay, bird. Like a black bird? This one?
It's like a prey bird that's usually flying around when something's rotting.
Oh, okay.
Dead corpses and crow. I believe so, yeah. Okay.
So is it? Maybe in the prophets. So that's something that is coming, right? So unfortunately, something happened, or it's about to happen. So this animal, they feel, have the sense of blood or something, right? There's a scientific fact that the shark, right? They can like feel like a smell or feel smell, whatever you call it, the blood for many miles away. And it would be there. It's like that's natural to them. You understand? So maybe these birds, they feel that something in the air, right? Practically, right? That they start assembling. They feel.
Torah?
Yes.
Sorry, my bad. I just got my facts wrong. A crow is a raven. It's not what I mentioned about the dead bodies. Yeah, it's like a.
No, raven. Raven. No, I got that. That's what I meant when I said this blackbird. Yes. So yes. So raven is actually used when they come in between the parts. So look up this part when HaShem said to Abraham, cut three. What is it? 3 cows, right, and put one part on the left, on the right, and we're going to go between them. You understand? And then it says it became dark, and ravens came down and tried to eat the meat, and Abraham had to shoo them away. Ravens, yes, for sure. Raven was the one who would bring the food to Eliyahu Hanavi, but it's a different story. I think that this one is the closest. Right, and check what Rashi said there. Right, that's the nations of the world. They just waiting for blood. They feel it's in the air. They feel something. Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So let me say that this would apply to not only ravens but other types of birds.
It says exactly, specifically about the ravens, that they just wait to attack. I mean, they like have the sense that something is about to happen, or already happened.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Because on the building right in front of mine, around the times of Yom Kippur,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was either Yom Kippur or
Mm-hmm.
Rosh Hashanah.
Mm-hmm.
There were a bunch of birds, like a lot of them flying in circles in front of an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and they remained there until the day ended,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. I don't know if this.
So we can find out. Maybe somebody passed away on that day. You understand? Very, very possible.
Wow. Thank you very much, Robert.
You're welcome.
Okay, next question on the board. Shalom Kovava. Questions about Shidduch.
Mm-hmm.
What should be the right mentality when finding a Shidduch? When we are still working on our midot,
Mm-hmm.
how do we know if ourselves are ready for marriage?
So that's okay. So general approach is, so I mean, to fix all your midos, you need all your life. So there is no certain age or a certain day. Okay, by the next month or by the 10th of the next month, I'm going to finish working on my midos. It's not going to work like that. So because it's the process in progress, right? You always continue. So as soon as the person subdued or at least work on the worst midos, so there is no problem. So person is ready. Of course, continue, but that's it. The person is ready. So don't delay because of that. So again, the biggest one, I guess, this jealousy is the biggest one, and it's actually the ruiner of the marriages. And I have to talk to these women, for example, in some countries, right? So men, after some age, I don't know, 40, 50 years old, he does not have any profession, and they're not good in this, not good in that. Okay, so he cannot provide like she wants, like all others. There's expression, the grass is greener on the neighbor's side, even though it's the same grass. The only difference, you have a fence, right? You have a fence between you and the neighbor, but it's the same grass, but it looks to you greener. Understand? And so sometimes you have to just accept that's what it is. he's going to make the work. There is a special, couple that I have in mind. So he works on a factory. Nobody is being paid well in the factory as a regular worker, and it's not enough money for this and not enough money for that. But that's what it is. If you don't have jealousy and start comparing with everybody else around, that's my point. So the life is good basically. You just enjoy whatever you have, whatever you don't have, you don't enjoy, and you tell yourself, I don't need it. If I need it, HaShem would send my way. But if people start comparing it, like be jealous, that's jealousy is the biggest killer. Okay. And of course the second side, like whatever this guy should be also like that. If he's like big ambitions and he's I met many people with big ambition. So I said, okay, but what do you do right now? No, but right now I'm in this office. I only do this and this. But look, you're 30-something years old. You're still in this office. At least don't speak about these ambitions and concentrate on your work at hand and be good wherever you do. HaShem is going to provide. So, but they all only in transit, or like between one job and another job. All these people with a big dreams. So, but while they're achieving the dreams, they forgot to be Jews. That's the issue. Okay, so that's the thing. Again, the bottom line. Fix. I'm not saying that the person has jealousy, but that this big jealousy, the greed, and I don't know, laziness, I guess. At least to some extent, work on yourself constantly, and HaShem is going to bless. And plus, when two people get together, so it's going to be it's not two people, but it's one union, and one union is much more than two people separately, right? Okay. What else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
I kind of have a question about this Shidduch issue. I was wondering, does HaShem kind of train us for the Shidduch that He has prepared for us with the people that we spend the most time with before we get married? Meaning, for example, I grew up in a single mother's based household.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised mainly by women. I mean, my mother, my grandma, and my playmate was my sister.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much my life.
Mm-hmm.
And what the common denominator between them three is that they were very bossy, the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got used to it. I mean, I got used to being around them, and this is like sometimes I don't know if I consciously kind of look for in a woman. So I was wondering if Hashem kind of put me in this environment in order to get used to this type of woman, because perhaps He has a woman with such character traits for me. I don't know. I was wondering.
That's very, very possible. So that's a very good trait. I had a coworker. So he's Sephardic Jew. So I mean, since he was he most of his life, majority of his life, he lived in this with Muslims. So they got all of this, the attitude of the Muslims. You understand? So we had conversation once. He was not religious, right? But he said, "What are you having for lunch?" I think something like that. I said it's from 2 days ago. It's leftover. I don't know. I did not say leftover. For me, it's normal food. Wherever it's in the refrigerator, it's fresh. It's not spoiled. It's tasty. That's a good food. Wherever I take my lunch with me. He said, "You serious?" And he stood up. He said, "You serious? You going to eat leftover? That's for women and children. Men does not eat leftover. It's like Arabs. I think the Arabs are exactly the same." Whoa! I said, said, what do you mean? He said, I'm not going to eat like leftover. I eat only fresh. This woman is going to go back to her mother. You, you understand? So I'm not sure if he was in front of me like that. Maybe she changed him, but I don't think that the guy's changeable. But she's also from this culture, so she's more submissive, I guess. I hope. I don't know. Otherwise, if they are both like that, it's going to be explosion. Somebody is going to kill somebody because of the food, right? Not being fresh, not spoiled, but not from today. So he said, men do not eat like leftovers. I felt like, wow, very interesting. So I understand. But if you said you're fine. So when this environment, as you explained, it's very interesting environment. I had this person before, right? So meaning the person, like he said, maybe I'm not manly enough, maybe like similar situation. I said opposite is true. So like when there is a conflict is coming, so it's not going to be like this Sephardic Jew said, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to send you to the mom. No, you're going to find some ground. You're going to let it go, right? Because she wants to be a boss. Okay, let you be a boss. Who cares? You understand? So I think it's actually good quality that in our arrogant world can be used for positive things. Right, so she wants to be a boss. Let her be a boss. I mean, not in spiritual things. Not she should not tell me what Torah to learn, but otherwise, in not spiritual things, she should be a boss and she should control. And she tell me to wash dishes. I'm going to wash dishes. I'm going to listen to lecture. I'm not going to waste 1 second washing dishes. Right? I mean, I'm going to wash dishes, but I'm going to listen to the lecture. There is no problem. All right, there's. I think Rav Shmuel Lefkowitz. No. One guy came to him and said, after you married God, he said, Rabbi, this wife of mine, I mean, I'm not sure how long I can stay married. So Rabbi said, whoa, what happened? Please tell me. He said, she always tell me, please wash the dishes. I have the headache. I have this and that. I'm very tired from work. But I have to go to learn Torah in Kollel and this and that. Very important lecture. And she is these dishes after dinner, like a very annoying woman. Who needs that? And Rabbi said, okay, no problem. What time is your lecture? Class? He said, yeah, with this, no problem. Okay, so 15 minutes before this guy is supposed to leave, knock at the door. He opens this great rabbi. He said, okay, all right, look, you go to the lecture. He said, Rabbi, why are you here? He said, no, you said you have at 7 p.m., right? Yeah, at 7 p.m. So he said, you go and I'm going to wash the dishes. So, Rabbi, you serious? What are you doing? He said, no, you said that you need to go. So I told my wife, I'm trying to help another Jew. So because he wants to learn Torah, I don't have to give money, I don't have to give my kidney, I just have to wash the dishes. What's the big deal? How many dishes can you have after two people? They just newly married. What is the big deal? So the guy became red and white and this and that, and say, okay, Rabbi, I think I got the point. I wash the dishes. I wash the dishes. No problem. So, you understand? Somebody is many times we just have to put our ego down, and it does not. You don't have to argue about things, and you can again, if it's some manual job, you can listen to the Torah. It's not if it's not in the bathroom or something, you can listen to the Torah. There is no problem. Wash dishes. I always wash dishes after Shabbos. No problem. It takes me a very long time. But I finish one class sometime. I mean, small one, 1 hour, 15 minutes, or finish split in half. So I don't see 1 second of this washing dishes as a waste of time. Okay. Okay, what else?
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Yeah. So again, it's good because there's arrogance down, and it's just a channel to right direction. It's perfect. Don't have to work on yourself. But this guy, my friend, I hope, he's not my friend, but I hope he's still alive. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question from Gololav. If one has really conservative nature and is hesitant to try new things, example, food, go to new places, try new solution for a known problem, etc. Is this a negative trait? What would be the potential problem of this character? And how can one direct it into positive direction?
I'm not sure what somebody. Okay, so in modern society, it is for sure it's the greatest defect you can possibly imagine. Why? Because the person does not want to try new, right? But from a Torah perspective, the biggest blessing, because a person is settled, right? So I'm happy with my house. You know how many people they're not happy? And this cousin of mine from Israel, every month they have to go to a different vacation, like or every 2 months. So he can take a vacation, like short vacation. She works from home. She bakes cakes like for order, like expensive cake. So they travel the world, and because why? Because they're so bored. They're so empty. Unfortunately, that's why they won't see the world. Understand? So they try food, because old food, whatever was yesterday from yesterday restaurant, is not good. Whatever she cooked yesterday, I cannot eat it any longer. I'm so annoyed at this and that, and same food always. So she knows how to cook 5 soups. I don't know whatever. So he tried all of the 5 soups, and he wants to go to restaurant. So it's like continue like the biggest curse. The biggest curse that a person have is there is no satiation. And HaShem said, one of the blessings that we say, Birchas Hamzon, and you're going to eat and you're going to be satiated. So Rashi Zatzal says on the page, okay, so when people eat, they satiated. Whoa, what is the big blessing? So I ate, right? So no. Rashi said it's not so simple. Torah does not waste words, right? Meaning you're going to be eat a little and you're going to be satiated. And you see these people bloated, like huge people, like, and you see the men, unfortunately, like, with a huge stomach, at least where I live, right? There is huge stomach. Where I live, it's not so much, because I live in a city, so people walk a lot, because there's no parking, right? But it's somebody in the suburbs, especially in the office where I work. Most of the people came from suburbs, right? So nobody is walking there. Everybody's driving. So men, especially men, women not. But men with a huge stomach, and that they hardly can walk and stuff like that. So when they come to these giants come to like an elevator, you think like you praise Tfilas Chaderech, maybe you're not going to get to your floor. You understand? They're so heavy. Why does it come? Because they do not have satiation from the food. Forget about processed food, satiation. So satiation with the food, with anything that you do, it's a big blessing. So all of these people, why they're not rich people? He's 100 years old and he's still working, and people can retire. And for sure, like the guy had a good job all of these years. He could retire in the 50, in the 55, I don't know, 60, and live of savings, but they continue working. Why? Because they want to buy more. They have own the business, like sell the business, go like learn Torah, or even a non-Jew, go to vacation or something, go to the mountains, go fish or something. You understand? But they still continue working to get more. Why? There is no situation. So this thing that when somebody is concerned, I want to eat potatoes. I want to eat this spaghetti. Whatever I want to eat, salad and spaghetti and piece of chicken. That's my best dinner. And person can be happy with this dinner, maybe different dressing for next 20 years. So that's very good. I think that's very good. Of course, we have to make sure that the partner is also satiated with that. So we have to because it's very special, right? As I said, some people that they need to go different places. As I seen in my shul, they say, so where are you going? Where are you going for Shabbos? I'm going to Lakewood. I'm going to Muncie. I'm going to this. I'm going to my son. I'm going to my daughter. I'm going to this. I'm going to that. I'm going to Shabbaton. This. I just imagine like driving somewhere 2 hours, 3 hours. Like I don't want it. I don't want to fly to Israel. I love Israel, but to fly, I just remember these flights, non-stop flights, like 9 hours, 9.5. That's too much, and you have to come 3 hours before the flight. Of course, 3 hours you have to register, so you have to come even earlier than that, and then waiting and this and that, and they change the gate. It's so much aggravation. But people, they're so empty. They need this motion. You understand? So if you satiate, if you can just come home and do your kiddush and read Torah and enjoy it and be happy, that's big. That's amazing. But in society today, no. How come you have like many people ask me? So at that time I still working, so I had money and I was not rich, but we had this car for 19 years. So it was like maybe the scotch tape because of the headlights and stuff like that, and some things were missing. But I mean that's fine. We were fine. Like it can take you from point A to point B, and it still was running. We had low mileage, but people could not understand like how come you drive this old car. I said it's a good car. It's still driving. Why do I need like waste of money? Like if like, there's so many people in need, so many people hungry. I'm going to buy a new car for what? Right? Who I'm trying to impress? I'm fine with that one. You understand? It's very after it stopped working, it was dangerous. My wife said that's it. The mechanic said it's rusty, this and that. So then we stopped. But until the last day, we were driving that car, Baruch HaShem. So it's a situation, and people they buy a new car, and 3 months later, or 2 months later, two weeks later, they already want new one. Why? Because it's a curse. When people once every time something new, it's a curse. Understand?
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Next question. Question about jealousy in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Is a woman allowed to be jealous when her husband talks to other women unnecessarily, or vice versa?
Yes, yeah. Well, for versus, he's not allowed to talk to other women without need. You understand? The question was unnecessary, absolutely. So we have to work on him. He should stop. It's not proper, right? So I have somebody I meet sometimes, like a few times. I met in the shul my mother's friend. I mean, I did not know their friends, but I knew the name. And she said, "How's your mother? How this? How that?" I said, "Look, I don't know. Like I'm an Ash. So I mean, what is the business? I'm going to tell you all of the secret. I'm not the secret, but all of the. I said, call her. Do you know her number? She said, yeah, I know her number. We are friends. Okay, so call her. Like, why are you asking me all of these questions? I mean, elderly lady, my mom's friend. Okay, but still, why? Like, what is the business? If somebody asks me a halachic question, or ask me for help, or ask me for advice, there is no problem. We can talk. There is no problem. There is some constructive purpose. But here, there is no constructive purpose, right? And so we have to that's normal jealousy, and if the other side indifferent when something wrong is going on, that's the bigger issue, right? When somebody is indifferent, let him talk to whoever he wants. That's not right. Okay. Well,
thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
So in regards to this question, is the woman or the wife allowed to display or express this jealousy in some sort of a tough way, perhaps, in order to shake her husband?
If that's what it needed. So wife usually, as we work with Rabbi Rubenschlitt on one case, and I said, Rabbi, long time I had, but what she what can she do? Like this case, and I was trying to help somebody. I was asking him advice. He told me like with a calm voice, look, they've been living together for this couple maybe for 25 to 27, maybe even 30 years, I guess, like long time. So she can handle him. See, he said, don't worry about that. She's going to handle him. Until now, she was able to handle him. She would. Yeah, you understand? So woman knows better. If she needs to be capricious in this and that and cry a little, let her cry. If other way would work, so she has to like do whatever she needs. Women have many tools how to make men do whatever they want, what they want, right? Tough is tough. For some people works tough. For other people works only nice million compliments. So with men, very often, like again, depends. Works tough. With women, with you go tough. She's going to push back. With my wife, for example, if you go like a little tough, so that's it's a lost battle. Whatever. If you're going to try nicely, that's you lost. Forget about nicely. So with her, you only nicely, only with a kindness, only this and that, only with the compliments. Understand? But whatever works, you don't have to be stupid. Understand? So only nicely.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay, next question. What is an appropriate way to meet a Shidduch? Is it okay to meet Shidduch in person, like in a Shiur or wedding, or through a third-party person?
So before meeting somebody, so there is expression, don't take bribes, because bribes are going to make you blind. Right? Of course, it says about the judges, right? So don't take bribes, and they say, well, what is a bribe for a judge? Anything, any tiny little details that would make the judge prefer like one side. So he said hello, good morning. So he's actually there in the same shoes. He said good morning. He opened the door for the judge. That's it. So the judge cannot be on the case. That's it. Why? Because this guy is nice. He smiled in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. He opened for him a door, and he said he did not know. He just Rabbi. So can I give you coffee? Can I give you that? Can I give you ride back? Or you have a car? Maybe this, maybe that. So just a person be nice. So it's already considered to be a bribe, right? And same is here. With the Shidduch, we don't meet until we see somebody on the paper. So when you see somebody on the paper, you can be very objective, right? For example, I don't know how most of my students look like, and tell the truth, I do not care, and I don't want to know how they look like, because maybe in my mind, maybe I would not like nose or whatever, something happened in my mind, like and I'm going to like be biased, because how could he, like how could she, this and that, whatever, for whatever reason, right? But then if I do not know how the person looks like, with most of the women, I don't know how they sound like, that's it. I see only the picture, no picture, not picture meaning like a flower or something, and that's it. So I can be very objective. So and I'm trying to help people. So same here, or even needless to say here, and I don't have any personal agenda. You understand? But this person, he's biased actually. And when he sees this lady, he's already he's not going to think straight. If she's attractive physically to him, if he's attracted to her, so that's it. Forget about this resume. So, but it's not how it's done, right? In the Jewish world, first you read resume, and she said, I like him to be this and that, and I'm that this and that. So, and sometimes, and a few things must be clarified. So you have a good questions. So meaning it's such important questions for you, like like Ashkafa questions. If she said no, doesn't matter how she looks like. She's Miss Universe or she's like looks like crocodile. Does not make any difference. I'm not going to meet her. So of course it's done through the third party, and so you decide if she's a potential on a paper. If she's potential on paper, yeah, then we can continue. But to meet somebody and get and if she's attractive, so that's it. It's a lost battle. You understand? A person would not be able to think straight, guaranteed. How many times it happened? Few times happened. And how did it finish? Disaster. They say you are outdated. You have to wait. This what is it? This Shatchanim. They're so busy. They don't return my calls. I am a convert. I'm Balchuva. I am this. I'm that. They are whatever. They're chauvinists. They're this nist. They're that nist. Yeah. And then they ended up in disaster. Okay. Guess what? Unfortunately. So we have a like procedure. Of course, it's not flawless procedure. There is an issue with the system, but and up to now, like until now, it's the best system possible. With all of these flaws, like it's the best system possible. So and it's I'll also just explain. Otherwise, you're going to be biased. Love her like her on the paper, and then continue. Right.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Okay, so next question. Regarding this topic of jealousy, if a woman that is married and has children has the opportunity to speak to the wife, but always approaches the husband, and the husband doesn't see any issue about it, is this considered unnecessary jealousy from the wife? Thank you, Rabbi.
I apologize. I did not get the situation. Can we do it again? So one woman, she has children, and she wants to talk to another woman, and she somehow gets to speak only to the husband. Well, I don't understand what the situation is.
I believe that's exactly the situation. Our friend says she has the opportunity to speak to the wife, but always approaches the husband. And then she
apologies. So that's the thing. So she has okay. So instead of going to the wife to her girlfriend, let's say, or neighbor, she preferred to talk to the husband. That's the issue, right? It's not modest. Right? It's not modest. But what is actually question? So I mean, we got it. It's not modest. But what is the actual question? What to do in this case?
Yes. So our friend's asking. So in case the wife of this person gets jealous, if this would be like justifiable?
Well, yes, for sure, it's going to be justifiable. So for example, when we had to like invite someone to when we used to have guests, so it depends who do we know. Sometimes we know a girl, right, and sometimes we would know a boy. I mean, a man or a woman, right. So, for example, if it's couple, so if we won't know men, so I would call man, right, or if we're from the woman's side, so my wife would call them. Even if I know this lady from the shul, but I don't need to talk to her, right, over the phone. I don't need to have her phone either. You understand? So I would give, for example, I meet her in the shul and said, here's a piece of paper. This is my wife's cell phone number. Please call her because, we want to invite her. Let you talk. So I don't need her to know her phone number. Okay. So that's it. So my wife would talk to her, explain her things. No problem. So there is no need for me to talk to this lady. Right? Especially some things, for example, modesty, it's better when my wife will put it than I put it, that she should get dressed, and even if it's summer, right, with long sleeves, with this and that, Okay, so that's I mean, it's women also know how to talk. Like my wife also very good with women. I'm not so good, so she knows how to calm them down, how to say whatever she said. And I always said, like, I was always amazed, like how she would turn everything upside down. Because why? Sometimes you would get these women, and they anti Judaism, right? So the guy is a little in, but not strong enough. But the woman is anti. And my wife, I don't know, God bless her, whatever she said. And for me, I will like see it's going to be disaster. She's going to run out. No, the guy, they're laughing now. You understand? They're now best friends. Whatever she said, they joke a little, and then that's it. So it's very good. Very good. Between women. They better communicate then. Right? There's no... so this jealousy, I would say the bottom line is justifiable. Don't put yourself in that situation.
Thank you very much,
You're
Colin.
welcome.
Yeah, Princess, thank you very much, Colin.
You're welcome.
So I have a question about the prophecy that was given to the forefathers about the slavery that Am Yisrael had to go through in Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim. So there's something that I quite not understand yet, and it's was this like something had to happen, something that Am Yisrael caused? Because it was already told to the forefathers before it happened, when Am Yisrael didn't even exist in the world yet. It wasn't even in the world. So I was wondering, was this something that had to happen all the way from the beginning as something mandatory, or was this something that was like conditional and could have been avoided depending on the actions of the Jewish people? That's kind of my question.
So let's clarify the question. So the question is, so our forefathers knew about the upcoming slavery. Nobody knew when, nobody knew for how long, but they knew it's going to be. I think maybe it's from commentary, maybe I'm mistaken, but Abraham knew that fourth generation is going to go into this land. Even if it's from commentary. So how is it fourth generation? 1 second. So how is it fourth generation? So it was Abraham. So let's say fourth generation. So Isaac is the first, Yaakov, Levi, and Moshe. I think Moshe is the fourth generation. I think Amram. Was Amram son of Levi? Or he was... I think he was son of Levi, if I remember correctly. So they know exactly, like, I mean, not exactly, but approximately how long, like, what at least they knew what generation is going to go into the Eretz Israel. Does it have to be? Did it have to be like that brutal, whatever they did to us in Egypt? Absolutely not. And that's why Egyptians were punished on one hand. On the other hand, because they were so brutal, we got this sea split for us. And so there are few examples, there are few reasons why you see split, but one of them because this angel Gabriel came and brought the brick from what is it, from Egypt, with a baby like inside of the brick. That's what the Egyptian used to do. He said, why should they go? Because of this. You see what they did to us. You understand? So this brutality, this bad life actually led to something good. You understand? So, and plus we got out with like as a nation, because when people under the pressure, it makes people more united. Because why? Because we have enemies all around. So look what is going on now, and unfortunately some lefty start going different direction. I just saw, I just saw that like headlines. I don't want to watch that. I get so disgusted from it. But initially it's actually unite everybody. You understand? And you have to go through the melting process in order to make gold or silver. Actually, that's from the Talmud. I also just say you have to purify silver, because silver, when you find in nature, it has a lot of impurities. So you have to, how you remove impurity? You melt it. So this melting was a cleansing process. And plus, as we know, all of these people who are not believers anyway, who were this 80% or more that died in Israel, right? So it was also this cleansing process, part of the cleansing process. Because if the 80% would go and maybe they would not agree to accept the Torah, maybe this, maybe that. You understand? So that's the whole process was necessary to mold us as a nation. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
The bottom line is not because they necessarily deserved it. It was just part of the...
Some things when they start becoming more and more successful, and they would go and when we just moved there with Yaakov, our forefather Yaakov, we lived in Goshen. And Goshen, if you look in the map, it's a huge region. It's not small. It's huge, but they were bored. They want to go to the theaters. They want to go to coliseums of this Egyptians. They want to be part of the high society. They want to drive these cars and this wear this fancy schmancy dress. But you're not going to wear this fancy schmancy dress on the farm, right? So why, right? You need to go to some reception or some Egyptian aristocracy or some. You have to be part of the high society. You understand? And suddenly they stop liking Jews. In the beginning, it was nice. The family of Yosef, and they were living somewhere in the Goshen. We heard about them. Actually, one time I was passing from Goshen. I see the Jews, such a nice people, stuff like that. But when they separate, there's no problem. But now they start buying real estate in our neighborhood, and they evict people. They become landlords. They evict Egyptian who lived there for past 500 years. I'm just making up, but just so you know. So locals became very aggravated, very upset with Jews, right? And of course, that's what happened in Germany, that happened in France, that happened in Spain, that happened in England, in all of the country when Jews became very successful. The same exactly the same story. If we only stayed in Goshen, right? Same as if you take European Jewry, England, all of this Western Europe, they were fancy schmancy, they were not very religious. Who are the most religious people? Where this Hasidus and the most religious people came from, all of the yeshivas, not from France, of course. In some point it was France, Russia, and all the yeshivas. But after that, for many centuries, it was in Ukraine, it was Belarus, all of this Poland, Lithuania, all of the poor people, right? And the Tsar told me, you're not allowed to settle in the cities. Only special people would get a permit. You have to get special approval, special permit, one in a kind to permit you to live in a city, in a capital, or in more or less big city. So there was line, the border, when the Jews were allowed to settle, and they settled in shtetls, in the villages, and all of the in the villages, most of the people were poor, most of the people were together, most of the people were religious, most of the people never had interaction with non-Jews, or very limited interaction. So they were keeping Shabbos, keeping all the holidays. Of course, they had issues with the locals when locals come and do pogroms, but generally, people were very religious. understand, when they living in the shtetls, in like villages, and there were like a border where then like the way I understand, they would able to like to go to the market, for example, during the day, but they will not if they catch you that you stay overnight. You're going to prison. They're going to give you fine, this and that. So like terrible things. You understand? So these terrible things, this terrible restriction was actually good for us. So if you're Jew, you're not allowed to go anywhere. So very good. So where should I go? Nowhere. So like to go to airport, all of the goyim, all of these Arabs who need that, just sit home and learn Torah and be holy. You understand? So that's the thing. But when we in everybody's face, there is a Jewish parade, this and that, like these crazy Jews. You don't understand when before the election, there's Jews for camp, and they have this car rally. I don't know how many miles with a Jew Israel flag. I'm not sure Israel, but for sure American flag and Trump flag, this flag, and not in a place where a lot of these Democrats, so they aggravate everybody like. You Jewish? Why you like display who you waiting for? Like you normal? Like you understand? You be Jewish. Be so passionate about Russia. Did you finish parasha? Did you finish this? I don't know what I'll finish with your children. Did you read the Medrash? Most of them not. You understand? They try to be more goyim than Jews. That's the issue. Okay.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
Can I ask one last question? And there's no more questions on the.
Okay, go ahead. Please.
So, was what Chizkiyahu HaMelech did to his father's corpse was done with the same intent of what the Khatam Sefer did to this woman that died because of wearing wigs?
Mm-hmm.
That he spit on her corpse. Was these two things done in order to bring busha to the corpse, in order to atone for the soul of these people in the upper worlds?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And same, that's a continuation. I mean, you answer your own question. Yeah, the answer is yes. But same continuation of this topic is when somebody is killed a strange death, so that person gets a very big discount because of his sins, because his body, for example, there was nobody to bury his body, right? And I don't know, something happened on a remote road, and he died, and he stayed in a car, and he started decomposing or something. He got hit by a car and lay there for, I don't know, for 10 hours, 24 hours, whatever happened. So of course it's these maggots came, and birds came. They took his eyes and stuff like that. So this humiliation, to the body, it's actually the biggest atonement to the soul of the person. You understand? So of course, I mean, on the surface, whatever he did to his father, it's like, okay, he's Rasha, but do you have to do so bad? Yeah, if you love your father, if you want to help him, yes, that's what you do. And of course, when we do that, it's very important. So we have to have the purest intention possible, because on the surface it looks very, very degrading, very, very bad in the eyes of other people. So, and it's actually a general lesson. Many times you have to explain yourself why I'm doing this. Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. Okay, that's it. No more questions.
Yeah, there's no more questions.
Okay, no problem. Right. So beautiful. Thank you very much. So today we actually continued the whole week. Unbelievable questions, and unbelievable. Most of the questions, just so you know, I never heard in my life. Some of them I had, some of them were repeated. Some because people have the same issues. Like every one of us thinks that we're special, but we're all human. Whatever happened to us happened 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Right? So now sages provide the questions, which is good. Right? So thank you very, very much for learning, and let's continue next week at same time. Good night.